I'm Jordan Belfort, and this is Sales School. All right, short message from my number one sponsor, NetSuite. Here's the deal. If you're a business owner, you don't need them, NetSuite, to tell you it's tough to run a business, because it is, right? We all know that. Don't let QuickBooks and spreadsheets slow you down anymore. Now is the time to upgrade to NetSuite by Oracle. They're the world's number one cloud-based business system. They give you the visibility and control over your financials, HR, inventory, e-commerce, and more. You want to join over 24,000 companies using NetSuite right now. So schedule a free product tour now at netsuite.com/school. That's netsuite.com/school. My dad said something that was really interesting. And he had the whole family crying yesterday. It was unbelievable. But, what he said was that, now that we're getting near the end, he's 88, 87, right? I find it really hard to remember what happened yesterday or even a few hours ago. But I remember the old days more clearly and more clearly and more clearly. In other words, he remembers all the times when I was growing up, all the mistakes he thinks he made, all the good times he didn't enjoy because he was worried about sweating the small stuff. And that's what he remembers now as he approaches the twilight of his life. He's in the twilight. He's in 87. He's living on borrowed time now, and he's still, thankfully, his old mental faculties. But, if he has another 5 years, that's great, right? But maybe not. Who knows? The point is that he spends so much time right now thinking about the past and what he didn't do, what he didn't accomplish, the opportunities he didn't take advantage of, and it haunts him. And I had a long talk with him yesterday about that he also faults himself for not being as good of a father as he thought he could have been, and because his habit of sweating the small stuff, and he was great in a crisis. That was my father's sort of MO: great in a crisis, terrible day to day. But I explained to my father, I said, Dad, my voice is still hoarse here, so I'll be back, full steam next week for our daily motivations. But my dad said, I said to him, Dad, I said, we kid around and say that you sweated the small stuff, but that was only rarely. Things have a habit of becoming cliches, but the truth is 99% of the time, my dad was amazing. But this habit, we start to we become who we think we are, and our memories get skewed and they almost get sort of distorted to our worst qualities. We think that he always sweated the small stuff. It's not true. He didn't always sweat the small stuff. In fact, he was a great father. He was the dad who pushed me, held the back of my bicycle around and taught me how to ride. He was the coach of my little league teams. He put together my toys. He was amazing. I mean, it wasn't perfect, but no one is, right? But the point is that I'm seeing someone who I love more than anything in the world, right? And I'm watching him dwell on the one aspect of his life, that was that he did not live a fully empowered life. He didn't. Until I started Stratton, he lived his life, they'd never had money. They were brilliant, hardworking, educated, but because they didn't risk anything, and they were risk averse, because they didn't believe in sales and persuasion and communication. They were both CPAs, but never really built a business around that. So they struggled. And now, that he sees his, his son become what I became, he realizes that, he missed out on so much. And he still has a great life. Of course, his kids love him to death. His grandkids love him to death, right? He's an amazing man. But it really made me think about how much even I, who live a really empowered life, right? Who goes for everything, I never let fear stop me from seeking the things I want, from going after the brass ring every day. You know that. And I teach you guys the same thing, and I implore you to do that. It just made me realize that much more, that any bit of worrying or dwelling each day and focusing on the negative and focusing on where we don't want to go and letting your life be impacted by dream stoppers in any way has even the slightest place in a person's life. Mine, yours, anyone's. We have to knock out those fucking dream stompers this year. Listen, we're getting close to the end, of the year. I believe it's time to start making our New Year's resolutions now. Seriously, why not? Everything else starts now for the holiday season. We're already shopping for the holiday season. Why not start our New Year's resolutions now and get a fucking jump on it? Seriously, it's time to knock out the negative voices anywhere in our lives. Get rid of them. If they're people that we can't get rid of because they're actual family, then we ask them to shut up for me. Please don't say a word to me. Don't say anything negative for the next 90 days. You need 90 days of intense work, straight line training, going after the, success, and you'll be strong enough to withstand them. But the point is, we're going to knock negative voices out. And also, it's time for us to take a good look inside and to really start attacking those limiting beliefs that we have that stop us from enjoying life at the highest level, from being all we can be, from charging forward when we should, instead of pulling back when we shouldn't. Which is why I've decided for this weekend's intensive, I'm going to go back and dig into the subject of beliefs in a very profound way. Last time I did beliefs, I went through a timeline regression, which is very powerful. I did it almost like the third week, so there was almost nobody. It was like, now we have 10, we're closing in on 10,000 subscribers, guys, okay? That's how fast we're adding people on right now. We're going on 10,000 on the next number is our plateau, right? And most of you never saw that beliefs. It's back in the library. I can barely talk. I'll be better tomorrow, certainly by the Monday motivation. But if you go back into the library area, into the archives, you'll see the training on beliefs. And I even added on extra file there for timeline regression that I could take you through, which is where you just close your eyes and I take you through a regression. It's one of Dr. Bandler's from NLP's techniques, right? But I want to go through this again on this weekend's intensive because it's so important, so crucial. And this is tomorrow, by the way. Tomorrow, I'm going to do this intensive, right? I'm flying out to Moscow today. I'm going to land in Moscow, and I'm going to get right on, and I'll be just in time to land and do the weekly intensive. I'm doing a live stream from Moscow with the Kremlin in the background, all right? And I want to get into your beliefs, and I'm going to attack them in a different way. We need to shed. Me, you, all of us. And I'm going to lead you through this process for 2019 to get rid of any lingering bullshit that might hold us back to success. And I say us because we all have limiting beliefs. Seriously. If you don't think you have any, then you just found your first limiting belief. That you don't have any beliefs. We all have them. I've spent many years rooting out all the really destructive ones, and I have done that successfully. But I still have lingering things, and so do you. I will guide you through this process. We need to clean up the inventory for the rest of this year. That's like the goal for the remainder of 2018 is let's clean the house. Let's sharpen our skills on the outer game as well, but let's clean house on the inner game. Let's get our shit together. Let's get our standards correct. Let's get our vision in order. Let's get our beliefs sorted out. And let's just fucking pour it on for 2019. That's my message to you today. It's not really a work day. And for those of you on the other side of the world, it's already Saturday. But I wanted to give you a bonus because you deserve it. Everyone deserves it. All right? I love you all. My voice is literally just coming back. And I'm happy. And I feel it's fucking freezing, man. It's freezing. I'm in New York. It's fucking freezing today. But I want you to know that, when I lost my voice, I felt good about it because I pushed and I pushed and I pushed this year. And in the last few weeks, I've been doing like speaking nonstop, taping, speaking. And I realized a lot of things. Right now I am getting bombarded with speaking engagements. I can't keep up for 2000. I'm almost fully booked out for 2019. It's crazy. And my son who works with me is amazing, Bo, right? He's really helped me grow this business since I relaunched it. Well, wonder why the business has picked up that dramatically. Is it just the social media? Is it that I just paid a lot more attention to it? And, we're here's the thing. In the absence of anyone that really knows the deal speaking to people, they'll take anyone's message, which is why you've seen the rise of so many idiotic, seriously, idiots out there who profess to be coaches and entrepreneurs and sales gurus. Some of these people have no business at all giving advice. Seriously. Some of them are complete charlatans and clowns. They call themselves their profession, the best closer trainers. Come on. These people couldn't sell the way out of a paper fucking bag, a lot of them. And it annoys me. But part of it's my fault because I went to work for one company for 3 years because I disappeared from the market for a few years. I left the void. And what happens nowadays is because of social media, in the absence of a real voice out there training people, people will take any voice. Seriously, it's human nature. If there's no one giving you a message, they'll take any message, however stupid and basic and corrupt and plagiarized and irrelevant and useless it might be. That's why there's some people out there right now who have become successful in the speaking world, and they didn't earn their chops as really great salespeople or great entrepreneurs. They have no basis to be teaching this stuff, but they are because they made the decision. They went on social media and they flooded social media, took a couple of pictures with famous people and leveraged it, and next thing you know, they became, I don't want to say famous, but they became, success gurus. And it's disgusting because they take people's money, they give very little value, and what little value they do give is really baseless value because their stuff is bullshit, doesn't work. I can't say it's my fault, but because I disappeared for a few years, people fill the gap. Why am I saying this? Not because I'm saying how great I am. That's not why. It's because what I realized about this is that it also creates an opportunity for you. Here's the bottom line. What I've come to realize is that in this new world of social media, anyone can become an influencer very quickly, no matter how stupid they are. And you guys aren't stupid. You're smart. You're learning. You're growing. You're picking up these incredible skills, right? You're doing the work. You can make yourself into a force to be reckoned with using the straight line system. I'm about to start getting heavily into online marketing training because I've, in the last few months, become one of the top online marketers out there. And I have great trainers who have been mentoring me, and now I'm ready to pass on that knowledge. I told you I would be. After the end of this year, I'm going to start really digging into marketing training, okay? And giving you guys info that no one talks about. It's the real stuff. But the point is you can become a legend. You can become a force to be reckoned with out there in the world, around you, whether it's in your immediate group. You can develop a group. You can spread your message. You can build a brand. It's easy to do because I've watched a bunch of idiots do it over the last few years. Some of them are smart, but most of them are complete charlatans with nothing good to offer, and they just want to line their pockets. And you're different. You're doing the work. You're learning great stuff. And now it's time to take it to the next level.